4 podcast. I have Erin Banks, and now your name, Erin. I got a chance to meet you this year at the Olympia. You did really fucking well this year at the Olympia. You got second place, and I think you surprised a lot of people. How does that feel?
Man, to be honest, it's still sinking in just a little bit. I'm getting so many messages, so many different comments on how the show went, what people thought I should place, and yada yada. But at the end of the day, I respect the judges. I respect everybody who had a say so on whatever placing I got. I know I did my best, and all I know is just for next year, we're not gonna ease up. We're gonna keep pushing it, and I feel next year is gonna be that one. So
give everybody who might not know your competitive history, give them your competitive history a little bit, to how you turned pro, what you turned pro at, and how you got to the Olympia this year. Because I haven't seen you at the Olympia. I think this is your first Olympia appearance.
Yeah,
right?
it's my first.
That's fucking amazing. That's amazing, man.
Season just in total. So let me give you a little background on myself. I was an athlete all my life. I started playing football in the 7th grade. I started working out in the 7th grade. We had an amazing football program. And
where were you playing
from there? Huh?
Where did you play at?
I played at Clovis East, and I went to Northwestern Oklahoma.
Okay.
And
awesome.
then, so as I was growing up, I was already athletic. Then I let myself go when I stopped playing ball, and I can probably show you some of these, and you can probably put them up wherever. But there's some before pictures out there.
I saw a couple. You look a little chunky, bro. You look a little chunky.
So we had the big gut, the out of shape dad bod. But at the end of the day, man, I got my life together because I knew I was having a daughter. I found out I was having a daughter.
Oh.
And I didn't want to be one of those dads. Hey, go play by yourself. I want to be active in my kid's life. So, again, that's my why for why I go so hard at everything I do. And now, as we're talking about it, I became a personal trainer. So from there, a lady kept looking at me. She was like, "Do you compete? Have you competed?" I said, "No, I don't really know anything about it because, again, I don't. And again, this is my rookie season, so there's so much that people ask me all the time, but I don't really know because I'm so new." But she kept bugging me. She was like, "Dude, you got to do one show. You don't have to do classic or any other thing, but just do men's physique. Just try it out, see if you like it." And my first show was 2019 of April, and I only did true novice.
Oh, really?
I didn't do open. I didn't do anything. So the head judge was like,
"Why did you do this other stuff?"
"You didn't open? Like, you just killed everybody." and I didn't. And he was like, "Dude, you need to do a show, the next show the following week," which was following month was May, I believe, of 2019 in Contra Costa.
Okay.
And went down there, got nationally qualified. Then that next following month was July 2019, Las Vegas USA's. And me and Antonio McNeil, who actually was at the Mr Olympia this year as well, he placed first, I placed second. So I did receive my pro card at the USA's. And from there, I got out of shape again.
So you got your pro card getting second? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow, okay. So this shows that you don't, like, how you turn pro doesn't matter sometimes.
It doesn't really at all. To me, it's just all worth ethic, man.
Absolutely.
If you're going hard, it is what it is. So from, I guess, July 2019 to October of 2020 when I met Ariel Cuts, and I just didn't do anything. I was eating. I was playing video games.
I love it. That was COVID, right?
Pro card. I don't really need to do anything else. Like, this is pretty dope. So, with that being said, hired Ariel. I said, "Bro, I really want to get my pro card. I really want to do my first pro show." He said, "Send me a before picture." And he was like, "Yeah, bro, you're a little out of shape." But I was like, "Man, just trust me, believe in me. I know how hard I can work to get to that next level. Just let me prove you wrong." And we did my first show in Houston of this year. I think, what was that? Also April or March of 2020. And placed second. That was my first show ever as a pro, my rookie year. Placed second. Cali Corte.
Okay.
He placed first.
All right.
And then 2 weeks after that, I did Salt Lake City. Got second again.
I was there. I judged you on that show, I think.
Oh.
So
I did it first. But the thing is it's all about Godspeed. You know what I mean? So I'm glad he didn't. I didn't place first because just how things panned out. So 2 weeks after that, I went to Pittsburgh Pro and placed third against Raymond Chiron. After that, 2 weeks after that, went to the New York Pro and got my qualification. I won first at the third most prestigious show in the world. You know what I mean?
It's a big deal.
So rookies don't do the things that I've been doing this year, and people have been really, really giving me support and just like amazing comments and things like that. Just going into ending my rookie season, and then 21 weeks later, we arrive at the Olympia.
Go figure.
We don't know what happened, man. I placed second, and man, like I said, I'm truly blessed, and I'm just happy. We worked so hard to just grow and improve, because Tyler just kept telling me, grow your chest just a little bit more, grow your chest a little bit more, grow your chest a little bit more. And when they saw me at the Olympia stage, they were like, oh yeah, he a lot. So yeah, it was a journey, and I'm just thankful of my coach. He's a magician.
Well, you got the Asian persuasion going on there, man. My brother's there. I like those guys. Those guys are good guys. Ariel and Andrew, both those guys are good dudes, man.
Goofball.
Dude, he's nuts. He's nuts. Don't give him any drinks. But that's okay.
How many drinks we had that night?
I don't know. We're at the gala. He's bringing out drinks to me. I'm like, hey, man. He's got the hard stuff.
About five before you even showed up. Not pissed. This is gonna get out of hand too.
I know.
Quick.
I should have captured some of that conversation on video with him and fucking Stan McQuay. Tell Stan to put his glasses on, giving him a boner and shit. I'm like, what?
What did I say?
I'm like, dude, go call your fiance.
Hey, no comment. I said, hey, you talk about what you want to talk about.
Right.
Absolutely.
So what was the most surprising thing, aside from your placing, what was the most surprising thing that came out of this last prep for the Olympia, and maybe it was something you didn't expect, or I'm just curious if the experience was what you had thought it would be, or was it different than you thought? I mean, talking to other pros who might want to emulate this same kind of thing if they can, what was the most thing that surprised you the most?
To be honest, I wasn't surprised at all.
Good.
And that's not in an arrogant, cocky way. I just prepared myself so well for this. I've dreamed about it.
Excellent.
I've manifested everything that I've already thought I would do at the Olympia. I mean, but if besides like me dreaming and all that, but like maybe like a minor surprise is just meeting some of these big mega superstar bodybuilders. I mean,
and you're beating some of them.
Yeah. So and now, so it's like Bumstead, like you got T. Ruffin, like you got so many. I was talking to Lee Haney at the final.
Nice. He's an awesome dude.
I'm like, bro, like how much bigger can you get? So I'm meeting these guys and talking to them, and especially I haven't competed against Brandon at all my first year until the Olympia. I mean, and what's crazy and the surprising thing is people don't understand. Me and Brandon are we're boys. He was my posing coach for USA's.
Shit! He didn't expect to see you stand next to him.
I mean, people were like, "Bro, does that feel kind of weird?" I said, "No, it's just we respect each other, and at the end of the day, it's a competitive sport, yes, but still, we're still men off this stage. So
I think a lot of people kind of
like animosity.
Yeah, I think sometimes people
people
see.
People don't know that Brandon coached me, and he was even like Houston and Salt Lake. He was still giving me pointers and was like a second eye in a sense.
He probably didn't give you too many the day of the show at Olympia.
It's crazy. A lot of us. I mean, it was a lot of like men's physique guys that kind of talk all the time. you can tell like once the Olympia starts coming, those conversations become real minimum. You know? I understand everybody's laser focus and everything, but hey,
it's kind of funny every year you see, especially the men's physique guys, and I don't know if it's just the nature of the guys who gravitate towards this sport, but they like to shit talk each other a little bit. But I get the impression it's all in good fun. Nobody, I don't think anybody hates anybody.
And to be honest, I don't really see, and especially like even at this Olympia, I don't see a lot of like guys that are just going at it. Yeah, they might talk crap or whatever on social media, but I mean, we still dap each other up. Like again,
that's what makes it fun
off the stage. You know what I mean? So, hey, it's just all fun and games, and if we can do what we can do and get people involved, and guess what? That helps. It helps the Olympia sell some tickets.
Absolutely,
so,
but it makes it immensely more interesting to watch. That's for sure.
Right, absolutely. So you got these people chirping back and forth, and I kind of put some stuff on there like, hey, it's my turn type of deal, like kind of like just to get some, because I definitely want that rematch. So I'm gonna really build that. So
okay, good.
I really do want that rematch. So I'm just excited, man. I'm not gonna do too much to overdo it, but I'm gonna do just enough to where we can definitely move some tickets for this this 2020 which is in December.
December, right? Yeah, I know. It's going to be going back to Vegas,
which is good.
Which is good.
That's 45-minute flight for me.
Yeah. Well, it's also good for.
That was a 7-hour flight to Orlando. No, I'm not doing that again.
You live in Texas? Where do you live?
I'm California.
Oh, California's right. Whereabouts?
Yeah. I'm in Fresno.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that. Yeah. You used to work out there, up there with On and everybody. On was from.
Yeah.
So
I live in Fowler, but I mean I'm from Fresno. But
there's not a lot going on in Fresno.
Wheeler's hometown.
Yeah, not a lot going on in Fresno. I saw that stuff. It's kind of. I was so glad my brother moved. My twin brother used to. He was a professor there.
You're telling me that your brother lived here.
And that's how I met.
Fresno, it's Fresno. You know what I mean? You get what you want out of it. And, I mean, to be honest, a lot of people were telling me even before I got into this bodybuilding thing, I'm like, man, you can't really do anything in Fresno. You can't can't grow. I said that mindset you'll never get anywhere.
That's right.
And then when I got into bodybuilding, they're like, dude, you got to go to LA. That's where everything is.
People
I get it. I understand it. But at the same time, I'm on my own time.
That's right.
So the thing is, I've done things that are, I guess, impossible for some of the people who have the mindset they have here. So,
well, I think you nailed it. I mean, if your mindset tells you that you have limitations, then you'll have limitations. And guess who creates those?
1,000%.
We create. So tell me about. Now, you keep mentioning it because, and I can tell you've done some work on this, but. I do a lot of work with my athletes with mindset because you can't be a champion. You can't win shit. I don't care what kind of genetics you have if you don't have the right mindset. You got to make it through the days. You got to be able to. So I can tell you've been doing some work with this and creating and manifesting and visualization and all these and the type of thinking that it takes to be a champion. Tell everybody. Right. I've talked about it for years, but I want you to tell me from your perspective, what does it take to be a champion in this? Because it's the men's physique, in my opinion, is one of the most competitive divisions.
Absolutely, and this division have grown tremendously.
I mean, all of it are competitive, but this is
from coming from 2012 to now. Like, so like I would say anybody from our era right now in 2000, what we're in 2021, could do crazy back when it first started.
Oh, like, absolutely.
I think people would have won. You know what I mean? They would like any of our top 15 now would.
Oh my gosh.
Won. In 2012.
Brandon did look pretty incredible. He looked. I mean, I think you could put fucking quarters in his fucking abs, man.
he was definitely diced, man. So it was, like I said, it was a battle. But with the mindset thing, man.
Like, what is your approach and how have you come to it?
How I think about just the mindset is just, I don't want to do things that a second and third place person would do. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by that? Tell me.
So the thing is, if you want to be first, you can't do what number 2 and number 3 are doing.
That's right.
And number 2 and 3 might be doing maybe, I'm cheating on my diet a little bit, or I don't want to get that extra 5 minutes of cardio, or it could be anything that's minor.
Right.
Anything that's minor. It doesn't have to be something big. It's just the minor things that make you great. And
man, I'm so glad to hear you say that.
and the things that we've done, I do everything the same every single day at the same hour at the same time. So every morning I wake up at 4 a.m. First thing I do, I'm brushing my teeth, getting my my vitamins and all that other stuff ready. I'm getting ready to hop on this Peloton right here. Every morning. This is every single morning.
I'm gonna have to get one of those.
That's all I use. I don't do Stairmaster. I don't do treadmill. It's the only thing I use throughout my whole prep.
Can you? I'm curious. This is a side question. Can you
Yeah.
on those Pelotons? Can you jump on there and do and bike with somebody else? Like if I got one and said, "Hey man, when are you doing your cardio?" and
The thing is, you can get on here. The thing is, you can connect with somebody, but it's not like a trail where
okay.
you can be like personalized, but you can see the same person on the side. It's like a little score.
I just thought it'd be kind of cool to kind of compete against people or
where
kind of.
you can buddy up and see, hey, you better pick it up. You can definitely do that for sure, and that's the good thing about the Peloton. They've actually upgraded some of the features in it, and yeah.
I mean, it's an amazing. I think it's an amazing machine. I'm gonna get one.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean.
But how did you tell me? Have you always taken this approach? Because this is a very fast rise to your
Yeah.
position, very quick,
Absolutely.
and which is good. Nothing wrong with it. But
Right.
but usually those individuals who do that, their mindset is locked in, man. They understand what it means, what it takes to be a champion. They don't
Yeah.
get distracted by the pain or the uncomfortability of the moment.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about that, because most people are the only thing that separates, in my opinion, most people from being able to be champions has a lot to do. I mean, there's some genetic things, but aside from that, it's usually about how they manage uncomfortability in their life. So when it's 5 o'clock and they got to get up and do their cardio, some guys will go they'll get up and do it because they know how to manage that uncomfortability, or some people will be like, oh man, hit the snooze, and then of course that's me, hit the snooze.
But see, the thing is, it's not really about. For me, it's not really about like get up and do that, or the whole mindset thing, or like my thing is my why. Like I have
Okay.
a why I do things. Like my two children, my two babies, are why I get up every single morning, 4 a.m. and push myself to the limit. That is why I do everything. It is not about the mama mentality, or
Okay.
the championship mindset, or
Well, that's okay too. I think.
uncomfortability. But for me personally, I do everything for my kids.
Okay.
And why I do it is because of my kids.
So now, did you have a strong family unit growing up?
Absolutely. I have one of the biggest families in Fresno, and I have a huge support from them. And I've always been bonded. I'm a family dude. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm a mama's boy, so it's like
That's okay.
And one thing that my parents taught me, because, and this is a little bit off the subject, but African American parents, like stat wise, don't stay in relationships long.
Huh.
My parents been married for 32 years.
Oh, congratulations to
I
them.
have both of my parents.
Oh, excellent.
And one thing that they taught me growing up is the discipline part and the consistency part. They were both entrepreneurs, so their work ethic, that's what they embedded in me. And then they did it because of us. They didn't do it because they wanted to flaunt money or do whatever they wanted to do. They did it because of us. Well, my brother and my sister. So that put my mindset to where, okay, when I'm a dad, or when whatever I do, I have to find a why. And for the bodybuilding part, the why is my kids. And when you talk about championships, I've been there already. So when we talk about Olympia, big stage, stuff like that, I've been an athlete all my life. I've won multiple Valley championships. I've won track, basketball, football, you name it. So I know the ins and outs of being locked in, and all the way locked in. So it's just my thing.
Oh, go ahead. I was saying, so like hearing that, what do you, when you take, because I know you train a lot of people and stuff like that, when you meet somebody who, let's say they want to be an athlete like you, like say they want to take it more seriously, but they're falling short, because a lot of people want it, but they really don't know how to apply that desire. What do you teach? What do you tell them?
So like what I would tell them, and it still goes back to the why. Like a lot of people want to do bodybuilding, or a lot of people want to be an athlete. Okay, why? Why do you want to do something? Is it because you want to pick up on chicks, or what
That could be a strong thing, man.
Like, you know what I mean? So if you can find your why and stick to it, and that'll keep you motivated during your process, you'll be fine.
Oh,
And that's the only thing I would tell people, because a lot of people would get into like the motivational speeches and stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool, but
it doesn't last.
Speeches, they last only 5 minutes, and it's kind of like, okay, what's next?
Well,
no, what's next is that next set is, okay, Aaron, if you do not do this next set properly, what if you hurt yourself? What if you do this? What if you do that? What if you stop and Brandon or Raymond or these other guys are pushing themselves and going crazy hard? That lets my kids down.
Right. Oh, okay.
Second in the world. You know what I mean?
So you're thinking about your kids even when you're working out,
bro. My kids are everything.
Absolutely. Okay.
My kids are everything. You know what I mean? And
so what do you?
I just want to give them a lifestyle that a lot of people just really never had. Like I had parents that had money, but at the end of the day, we had to work for it.
Sure.
I just want to spoil my kids. You know, so like I said, I'm a big family dude, and when it comes to my family, I'm a big baby. So
that's all right.
I just want to do it for them, man. That's it.
What you said you had 2 kids? What boy, girl, or?
I have a boy and a girl. Yeah. So my daughter is 4, and my son just turned 2 October 4th. So
congratulations!
Like literally before I flew out to Florida, we had a little birthday party here. And then after the show that following Monday, we took the kids to Disney World. So
nice!
It was a fun experience, man. Like. It was just we had a blast.
Well, coming off a high like that you talk about why your why is people finding why, and that's really important to me. To me, that speaks to purpose. Absolutely. So like when your purpose. So what I tell people, and I want to know what you think, because you've already nailed it. Like when your why is bigger than you, then it's easy. It's fucking easy. It's fucking easy. I tell people this, like
it's the same thing. Like with the meal prepping, people ask me all the time, is it hard to meal prep? No. Is it hard to stay focused? And because to be honest, throughout the whole prep, I'm buying my kids Little Caesars or McDonald's.
I did the same thing, man.
But at the same time, people because I'll post it on Instagram. They're like,
how do you do that?
That's not tempting. Absolutely not. I'm too locked in.
That's right.
That would not make me steer the course at all. So it's just if you can find that why. If you can find why you want to do what you want to do, and this could be in
anything,
a different career or anything. Like, if you want to be the best bowler in the world, what is it going to take you to be the best bowler in the world? Why do you want to be the best bowler in the world? Because X, Y, and Z. Okay. Now what am I going to do to be the best bowler in the world? Okay, my why is here. I got to stay motivated. Now I got to start training, start finding the technical stuff about bowling, and just going crazy with it. So it's just a whole lot of just whys for me.
I think you're right. I think because it's really popular to like one of the most popular questions I get is like, how do you stay motivated? And I end up telling them, hey man, well, like your why has got to be you got to find your purpose. Like, why are you doing this? Like,
yeah, you can't just do it to do it.
You can't just do it. Like, I mean, everybody wants a great body. That's not good enough. Everybody wants to be healthy. That's not good enough. Everybody, I mean, it has to be bigger than you. It has to be bigger than you because in those moments, I know because I remember many workouts that I would have my headset on and I was getting ready for a show, getting ready for like the Masters or getting ready for the USAs or something, and only thing I'm thinking about is my daughter. Because I knew that if I thought about my daughter, that it would make me do more, twice as much as I ever did with anything else. And I'm sure the hell not going to cheat. And I'm not going to, But as a matter of fact, and I wish this on you, and I know you'll have it one day. The last time I competed, my daughter was able to show up for that because she was young and she was about 6 or so when this particular show was my last one I did about 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay.
And I could hear her. I could see her and I could hear her because she was in Pittsburgh, and I could see her. I had her sit in the press section, and so I could hear her. She's like, "That's my dad. That's my dad." And you know how, dude? I almost fucking cried on that stage, bro.
That's the same my daughter does, man. That's my dad right there.
I'm like, I was like almost in tears, man. I'm like, oh my god, that made me feel so good. It was better than any trophy.
And it's all right to be in tears because, like I said, I'm a crybaby for my kids. I cry anytime. It don't matter. Any day you talk about my kids, I'm a cry.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man.
If I got to do a speech about my kids, it doesn't matter, you know. So I know the feeling. Absolutely, I know the feeling, man.
Well, I met you at the Olympia this year for the first time, and I'm going to tell you my reflections right away. And I always do this because I'm an empath by nature. I just happen to be. You have the same kind of energy that I sense from a few other competitors. Not a lot. You have a really warm, loving, kind energy about you. You're just like a really good dude. And so I knew right away when you start talking here, I knew, man, these things I could have guessed at some of this stuff. Like I could have guessed, but I tell people apples don't fall far from the trees, man, that they grow from. So if you look inside and and others don't like what they see in you, you should probably look deep so that way you can correct some of those things, do all the internal work. But
that part, yeah,
but you have a very kind energy, same energy that I get from Patrick Moore.
Yeah, Patrick, man,
Patrick's a good dude.
What's crazy? Patrick just followed me back.
Oh really?
Oh, because he's been one of my favorite bigger bodybuilders because he's so aesthetically pleasing.
He is like pretty. That dude's pretty.
I would say a couple years from now.
Yeah, give him 3 years. I think he's the next. I told him this at the Olympia. I said, don't be disappointed. I know he was kind of disappointed after prejudging because he didn't get the call up he wanted. And I looked at him before prejudging, and I'm there with Chris, and I'm like, dude. You have an amazing physique, but I don't know.
His physique is insane. So what do you think? Is it the size? Or?
Yeah, when you see him, and this happens to some competitors. So like when you're so balanced, and because he's very balanced, it's like so when you look at him in person, just by himself, he looks like he's unbeatable, right? Yeah. But then he steps on stage next to other guys, and all of a sudden, he gets a little out muscled. Because he's probably still light for that class. It's just because he's competing in this. We're in the age of like really massive guys.
When I saw him, he did his first Olympia, 2020 or 2019?
2019 probably, I think.
I think it was 2019. And when he came out,
you're like, whoa.
I said, wait a minute. Who is this?
Well, I remember.
Actually went to Instagram and said, Patrick Moore, who? Wait, what? This dude is like lights out right now, but when they start comparing him to these bigger dudes,
he gets
the only thing that he gets outbeat by is the muscle. Conditioning, so
I tell people this like
symmetry, he has it.
When it comes to bodybuilding, open and 212, you have got to win the front double bicep and rear double bicep. Yes. You've got to win these two poses, and so. It's just it's just these poses, quintessential poses that really mark those classes. And while he looks great, but when he stands next to other people, he looks a little linear, a little stringy. So when he hits his biceps, he's got great arms. He's got great, but he looks like he's undersized compared to the guys. You're like, oh man, so that's why.
And I think that's kind of like Reagan, right?
Yep. He looks, when you see him by himself, you're like, how's this guy going to be beat? And then you see him up on stage.
The two younger dudes that I've seen that I'm like, man, in a couple years, these dudes are going to be lights out.
Yeah, like Reagan Grimes, he needs a couple years. He needs probably like 3 years. I think Patrick could do it in 2.
I hope Patrick, man, gets that call out he gets once, man, because
but I'm gonna say
he has the look.
Yeah.
He's very marketable. I mean, that body is.
So what do you think? What do you think of one of your Olympia competitors? Robert Timms, because you guys have very similar kind of physiques almost, except you're I think a little fuller and certain areas. But tell me what you think about Robert. I just happened to see him in the gym today. He was working out here at the gym I work out at Tempe.
Robert Timms looks insane.
Yeah, I I
I
really,
don't know
really.
what happened.
I don't either. I think he got out muscled.
Because again, I was backstage. I mean, and I don't really know the judging.
Well,
But
the judges tend to, especially like Steve Weinberger, they just tend to be bottom heavy judges. They tend to be guys. They want to favor the guys who are a little more bottom heavy, and he gets a little, and he's not.
is he undersized in his legs?
A
little bit.
Not really. Not when you look at him.
Because I don't think because he has.
He's very
Yeah.
balanced. He's very balanced. He's just not disproportionate. So like some of the guys are a little disproportionate on their legs, and they get favored.
Yeah.
And that just has to do with it. Mark my words. As soon as the judges, in another 5 to 10 years, we're going to have a switch over in judges probably, because a lot of the senior judges are older, like Steve Weinberger and like Sandy, all these people. They're not going to be judging forever, and they're really turning these reins over. So the new Tyler and everybody else who's really bringing in some of the new judges, it may change some of the sport a little bit, because the truth is that we're not
totally fine.
Yeah, we're not scoring touchdowns in this sport. So
Right.
it's an opinion.
Absolutely.
And so like when I sit on a judging panel, it's my fucking opinion. It's not like the Bible. It's my opinion, okay? So I just happen to be, my opinion happens to matter in those instances, and so do theirs. So when the opinions start to change because different people come into place, then you'll get different judging standards. And I have a sneaky suspicion that classic will be a little bit more. I like it balanced. I like it best. I like men's physique more balanced. I like to see guys with a little bit more leg development. I like to see, that's what I like to see. But it's just me personally. They don't have to be rocked out. I mean, you don't have to be like fucking like rocked out, but but I don't want you to look like, oh my God, can he hold himself up on those legs? I've seen a few guys like this, right?
It's a couple guys like that.
I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, but I think he's got a great physique. I think he's.
No, to be honest, back to Robert, man, I be catching him on some of his lives sometimes. I'm like, man, you're a freak.
I'm gonna tell you, man, when he's working out, his muscles are fucking pretty. They look good. Yeah, he looks good. And he was doing legs today. He was really excited. He's doing legs like three or 4 days a week. And I'm like, damn, dude. He's like, he's gonna try to bring this balance so that he's a little bit more lower body dominant. And I'm like, just don't destroy your aesthetics. Just don't destroy.
If he does that, he'll be fine. Because to be honest, my pick, my top 5, I had Robert in the top 5, and
so did I.
had him. And to be honest, I had C-Bomb, T-Ruff, I had Tim's, then Breon.
Right.
But
Breon needs to go to 212. My opinion. Just go to 212.
They're not gonna up his weight.
And his physique. He's gonna get out muscled.
Yeah.
He's not gonna beat
C-Bomb that still has room to.
Yeah, he's not gonna beat Chris. The guy looks bigger than he looks 20 pounds bigger than he is.
Yeah. That's the scary part about Classic is C-Bomb having more room to even fill out more.
Yeah.
That's scary. For him to just make weight like that with clothes on, not even caring, that's scary.
Yeah, it's kind of.
But Terrence Ruffin looked,
dude,
phenomenal.
Dude, I think Terrence. So when I look at his physique, I think he's got a perfect physique. His physique is perfect. He's just shorter, and so he's getting out muscled. That's the only thing. So, but I would just tell him. Is he at the weight line?
It went either way. To be honest, to me, it could have went either way.
Is he at the weight line? Does Terrence have a little bit of room to grow?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Terrence, but I know he grew from last year.
Yeah, I knew he had room to grow last year. I just didn't know if he had. I think he still
does.
Yeah, I think he might have a few pounds. He looks like he does.
He looks good.
But he looks great.
Good.
Yeah,
he looked really good, and
I think people who see it on like the internet, it's hard. It doesn't look the same when you're in person. When you're in person, man.
You know what's crazy when you say that? Here's the funny thing. So every show I did this year. Because again, they only see me on social media.
Right.
So like Houston, Salt Lake, Pittsburgh, you would get guys that come up to me and like, bro, you're way bigger in person. I thought you were way smaller, shorter. I'm like,
sorry, this is who I am.
Instagram. That's Instagram. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I get it all the time.
Oh really?
I didn't know you were this tall. I didn't know you were this big.
Do people normally think you're shorter?
People think I'm shorter.
Now you're what, 6'1"?
I'm 6'1".
Yeah. Because I'm like,
I think I'm like 5'10". So I had one guy in my DMs was like, "Bro, are you like 6'4"? I'm like, no, like absolutely not. And I mean, to be honest, weight wise, I was 225, 226 on stage, and that was a crazy improvement from
what were you last
New York Pro.
What were you in New York Pro?
The New York Pro, I was 219, 220 on stage.
Oh shit! And you were 220, so you gained another 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. And how much weight and how much room you got to grow?
We can put on. I can. To be honest, I honestly, next year Olympia.
You can try to get bigger, a bit bigger.
Not crazy bigger, because I talked to Tyler. Tyler really doesn't want me to get too much bigger.
You don't need to.
All you got to do is just if you want, bring a little bit more chest. But literally, his words, me coming off the stage, Aaron, bring the same package that you brought the finals.
Oh shit! There we go.
So, what else? He was like, "Well, if you want, you can bring your chest a little bit more." Which we are definitely gonna do. You know, we have a game plan in area. We have a game plan, so you know, I'm ready. Like,
good.
The Olympia can be tomorrow. Like, it can be whenever. Like,
So what?
I'm always gonna be ready.
So what is your contest plans for next year? I mean, you don't have to compete this next year because you're qualified for the Olympia.
And see, that's what somebody told me, but then also somebody was like, "No, you have to."
No.
They give you 12 points.
No, top 5. If you're in the place of top 5, you can go back the next year.
Oh.
Yeah. So you don't. I mean,
is that a rule change?
That's been the rule for a long time. So unless they changed it in the last 2 years or something, then which I don't think they have.
Okay, okay.
So
now
usually,
that I know that.
Usually, if you place in the top 5 in any of the divisions, then you are requalified for the next year, if you so wish. If you so wish, this is why, like Dorian and everything, they never competed. You know, once they became Mr. Olympia.
Which I'm going to compete. Like,
of course,
I'm so fresh in this sport. Like, I need to definitely
do. What do you and Ariel think about your show plans for next year outside of the Olympia?
So, what we're thinking about, we got a couple different ideas that we just actually talked about this probably a couple hours ago. Like,
oh, cool.
So we're doing Arnold for sure.
Okay.
March 4th, we're gonna do March 4th through the 6th. We were gonna do Arnold for sure if those dates stay the same.
Okay.
So up in the air right now, there's 3 different shows. We're not guaranteed that we're gonna do these shows, but we're thinking about maybe Pittsburgh, the Athletic Con, if that ever is.
Right. We'll see.
Yeah, so I think that was the only 2 we talked about. It was either Pittsburgh and Athleticon, and then of course the O. But
definitely.
So
if you want, Ariel can call me if he wants. But my 2 cents is just from a career perspective: do the Arnold, do the New York Pro, do the Olympia. Those are the big ones, right? These are the big hot spots.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you don't have to do them, but but do them for stage experience. Do them to start stamping, to start sticking your flag in the fucking hill and all these mountains.
And I told him I wanted to be the first to literally have the top 5 shows under my belt. So Olympia, Arnold, New York Pro, which I have, Pittsburgh, and whatever the 5th is. I mean,
there's probably there's several big shows in Europe. Like you could.
So absolutely. So I just really want to make my stamp on those, and I know the Arnold we're guaranteed to do this year, and the Olympia I think will definitely be mine this year, and that's just me. That's my confidence. I'm not losing.
Good.
I don't think I'll be able to lose next year.
I think you're right on track, man. You keep it up, and I like the fact that you're just from the time that I met you, you're just a super nice fella, just super gracious, and that's really nice, man. I like seeing people who in our sport who have good heart, have good energy and stuff. So
absolutely, and that's the thing, and it's all about energy.
That's right.
You have to bring that energy every single day. No matter how mad you are from the previous day, how upset you are, it don't matter. Start your day off positive. Go read the Bible. Go read something, a motivational quote that'll kickstart that brain a little bit.
Do you have a process?
About that why, huh?
Do you have a daily process or some
Yeah. So
modality?
every morning I have a little thing I do on Instagram. It's
Oh,
so after I make my breakfast, so I take a little video of my breakfast, my daily devotional book, which is Joyce Meyer's. I don't know if you know who Joyce Myers is.
I
Joyce
know
Myers, and she has a book called Getting Close to God each morning.
Oh, nice.
And it has like 365 days of the year and of different devotionals on every different specific date. So I read that every morning. So if you're on my Instagram, you see that page every morning, 5:30 every morning.
So you're one of those early risers, right?
Oh, I told you at 4 a.m. every morning. It's Sunday. It doesn't matter. Does not matter.
What time you go to bed?
Got to get the wheels going now, man.
I love it.
So it's I do that every morning. I try to read a lot, because again, I wouldn't be here without God. So.
Right. I don't know if you knew this or not, but it's on my website. But I actually went to seminary. I did graduate
Nice.
school. So yeah, I didn't, not to become ordained. That was too much responsibility for me. But
Right.
but it was just really for academic pursuits. So I really deeply appreciate the spiritual in this life. I think it's all tied together. I really do.
Yeah.
I think that
100%.
we may be physical creatures, but we're spiritual beings living through
Right.
this physical experience, and we're supposed to feel all the stuff we're supposed to feel. We're supposed to do all this stuff we're supposed to do, and we're
Right.
supposed to have fun doing it. It's supposed to be fun.
Come on now, like, please say it again. Like
Everybody wants.
we're
supposed to have fun. Everyone wants to make this
Like,
process.
people always have these long faces. I'm like, you would never catch me without a smile on my face. You would
Good.
never see me mad unless I'm mad at them kids breaking some eggs every morning on the floor. Man, I'm just it's always a smile for me, man.
Good. Where did you grow up? You grew up in
I grew up in Fresno. Yeah.
Fresno. So what was that like? Because it doesn't sound like a place that would foster like the kind of. You have a really warm, wonderful demeanor, and I'm just curious.
To be honest, I mean, I grew up on the worst part of Fresno.
Really? Maybe that's why you're a nice guy.
My parents wanted the best for me, my sister, and my brother, so they ended up moving us to Clovis, which is kind of like
Yep, I know where that's at.
a city in a city, basically, and from there I adapted and grew up and I wasn't always the best student. I was always the class clown. I had a desk outside of my class. Fifth grade. I had all F's my freshman year. Couldn't play football.
Oh damn!
Met my high school football coach, and he kind of turned my life around. And Erin Banks began to evolve from there.
Oh wow! So what would you say is like when you look at yourself as a father and as a person in this sport, like if you're talking to somebody else, what advice would you give them? Say, hey, look, this is how I create success for me with my family, because it's hard to do this sport and compete at the level that you compete at, the highest level possible, achieve the highest things possible, which you're doing, and still have a productive family life, with your wife and your kids and all these things. These are important things. So how do you do it? Because I know so many people who don't.
The thing is, you just have to sit and listen. You have to sit and listen. A lot of people don't like to sit and listen to their kids during prep because I know we get low energy sometimes. But at the same time, it's.
So what do you mean by listening? So like when you give me an example of how this might work.
So I mean, if it's just listening to your wife or listening to your kids instead of ignoring them, because we get into this zone to where we're like, okay, don't bother me, and as kids, I mean, I have a 4 and a 2-year-old. They're like, daddy.
Everything's a question.
Okay, but at the same time, I have to pull back a little bit from the bodybuilding mindset and just say, yes, babe. So it's just again, it's always the small things, or if it's just a wifey just saying, hey, make sure you grab milk for the kids. I'm like, oh my god,
got my cardio to do.
You can't go get that. Right now. just listening and just listening to how they're feeling as well, because my emotions and my feelings also kind of wear off on them. If if I'm having a crazy day of low energy and I'm like, they're also like that too. So my main thing, and like I said, I always smile, and if I can put a smile on somebody's face every day, I done my job. So,
that's a good. I like that.
just listening, man, and just being present. I would say.
Okay.
As a father and as a husband.
That's a skill, man. That's a skill.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize this.
Don't get me wrong. It is hard. It's not easy.
Yeah, I know.
I may make it sound like, oh, yeah, right. He's not doing it. It's really hard. It's really hard, but at the same time, it's what you got to do.
So do you have is your wife very, I'm assuming she's very supportive about this whole process?
She's very supportive. And the thing is, she also was going through what she was going through as I'm going through prep. So she's going through her master's degree.
Oh, gosh.
She received her master's on the 2nd. So she's doing research papers. She's going to classes, dealing with kids.
What is she studying?
She's going to be a teacher. Yeah. So she got a master's degree.
Nice.
See, I should know this.
It's like education, something like that.
Some education, but
yeah.
So she did what she did.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm just proud of her for just really like holding me down at the same time holding herself down and getting her master's degree. That is a huge accomplishment.
Hey man,
like,
one of my I have one of my clients who's one of my co-host on here every once in a while. Nice. Derek Valentine. We just got his pro card last year. He's my age. He's my age. And everyone always, but it's funny when we talk about gender roles a lot. He and I talk about racism, we talk about gender roles because we have very similar perspectives on it. And he's always said like, hey man, he's like, women are gangster, man. He's like they're the ones, they can take more pain. He goes, they're way tougher than we are. And I have to admit that women take on.
I'm not gonna lie, they are.
So it's like
he's right. He is 100% right, and especially if you have a woman with kids, like they do majority of the diapers changing and getting milk in the middle of the night because I'm not getting up. So
I already had my milk. I'm going to sleep.
So she would get up in the middle of the night, get the kids. It's just so many things that women have to do. Well, they don't have to, but they want to do it.
Yeah.
Even though they may complain about it, but they will do it because that's just the women power that they have. Like it is.
Well, there's definitely a superpower there because there's a lot of patience. There's a lot of all kinds of stuff. I think it's the way we raise women. I mean, I have a daughter, and I love my daughter. Oh my God,
absolutely.
But I remember going through when I was dieting. I think for the first 10 years of her life, I dieted through every year of her life. Every summer I'm dieting, every winter I'm dieting, and so she grew up watching all this, right?
Right.
And, but
she's like, dang, Dad, no Christmas.
No,
Dad.
she told me she just turned 12 this last summer, and she told me this summer, she's like, hey Dad, you think like I could do that? I'm like, you could. I said, you can if you want. I said, you could do. I said, you could do it if you want, sweetheart. She says, well, you'll help me, right? I said, of course I'm gonna help. I wouldn't let anybody else. I wouldn't let nobody else touch you. I said, trust me.
And that's one thing. Like my daughter, she sees me do the bodybuilding stuff, and she watches some of the girls, and she'll just drop into a splits and just do. See, I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself. Hey, relax. But yeah, like I told myself, even as I was becoming a father, like I'm never gonna be that type of dad to force my kids to sports or whatever they want to do. They're gonna do what they want to do. You're gonna find your own identity. You're gonna do you.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
You have to be you.
I took the same approach that I wasn't gonna force.
Absolutely.
I will support her in her endeavors, but I didn't want to like try it because everyone used to ask me, "Oh, you're gonna get your daughter into bodybuilding?" I'm like, no. I'm not going to do that. I'm like, no. But if she wants to do it on her own, then, you know. But she told me last year, she said, Dad, I know what I want to be when I grow up. So you'll love this because when your kids do this to you, it's fucking hilarious. I said, what do you want to be, sweetheart? She says, I want to be a realtor. I'm like,
realtor.
I'm like, a realtor? Okay, why do you want to be a realtor, sweetheart? And she's like, because she's helped me look for houses in a couple different, because I've lived, and she's like,
just some of the little minor like memories and things that you go through as a father that these kids see and they just pick up on it.
Well, she was like, she said, I think it would be so awesome to help people find this home that they love so much, because she could remember how much I love the homes that I purchased and stuff, and how good of an experience. So she says, if I can help people do that, that would be great. And I think, and she said, and I think you can make a lot of money, right? Yeah. I said, if you sell really expensive houses, yeah, you can make a lot of money. Absolutely. It was kind of funny, but who knows what it'll be in another 2 years. It could be something. Because I think before, when she was really little, she wanted to be like her mom. She's a nurse practitioner, so she wanted to be like in medicine. And I said, don't do that, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Sick people, no. There's more fun doing some other stuff, I think.
Absolutely. You don't want to be around too many sick people, especially now.
Man, well,
I don't know what this world.
Dude, did you just hear? I just saw in the news, I think today, Colin Powell died of COVID.
Yeah,
that sucks, man. He was a good dude. So we got this.
Man, I'm just over all these crazy, all of a sudden deaths. Like it's a lot to take in, man. You know, and even at the Olympia, I had to. I don't know if you've seen my post, but I wrote "The Bull" on my stage.
I did see that. Yeah, I did see that. Did you
know
George? Did you know George well?
I didn't know George. The thing is I talked about George, and man, Ariel had talked about George so many times, and that was one of the athletes that I really wanted to meet. Like I really wanted to meet because they would always be like, dude, this dude has the craziest back for 212, and you have the craziest back for him. Like, dang, like what would be really sick is me and him got a
work
back session in.
Yeah.
And just show the world, and next thing you know,
I know. I just wanted to honor him and just pay my respects. Even because again, I didn't know him. You know what I mean? But at the same time, he's a icon. He's a legend in this sport. Already.
So I just had to pay my respects to George, man. And I kind of watched a little bit of the YouTube. I didn't want to have no too many tears fall down my face today because I'm just a genuine dude. Yeah. You know, I care for a lot of people. You know what I mean? And
well, you know, I'm going to tell you that compassion is a sign of a person with great character.
Right.
That's my personal opinion, but I believe it to be true. And George is one of those people too. He was
on my. There's so many stories about him, man, and I'm like, dude.
I knew George pretty well. He was on two of my podcasts, and I see him at the Arnold, the Olympia every year, and I would talk to him. Such a fucking nice dude. I think you would jive with him really well. He's got the same kind of mindset. Right. He's positive. And then when I hear about I didn't realize that he moved in with his mom to take care of his mom for the last couple of years or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And he's also a fucking really awesome dude to do this boot. Like, and his mother's, I think what I found out later was that his father died the same way. So this was something that going on in his family. So there was something, I think, an aneurysm or some kind of thing that was kind of, so he was, but his father died younger, I heard.
Oh, wow.
So his bodybuilding probably extended his life, but.
Extended, yeah. Kind of gave him a little boost.
Man, I had heard, I saw some pictures and some videos right before the Olympics. I was really looking forward to seeing him on stage because I knew he was going to be, yes. I was like, oh my God, he's going to be awesome.
He's coming in nice. And then when I heard that, because what's crazy is Ariel knows what type of guy I am. And he was like, man, I got to tell you something. I'm like, what?
Like, why are you so sad, man?
What are you talking about? You good? And he was like, I'll just tell you when I see you, man. And he just had this low monotone voice. I'm like, so, okay.
That's not like Ariel.
See you in a little bit. And next thing you know, Mr. Olympia posted it. I said,
What?
I called Ariel. I said, "Bro, this what you was talking about?" Yeah, man. I just didn't want to throw you off or anything like that, but yeah, because
Oh,
again, man, Ariel just talked. We've talked about him. You know what I mean?
oh,
We've talked about backs in this industry, and people compare
dude
my
had an irate back, man,
detail
and you got a great
to
back.
his. So yeah, it kind of stung a little bit, even though I didn't. Like I said, even though I didn't know him, I just had to pay my respect,
Yeah.
man. And
Well, I believe that all of us who participate in the sport, we're all brothers, man. We're all
that,
brothers, and even if we don't know each other per se, we're all part of the same team here.
yes,
And I believe that about the world as well. I believe that if we start thinking about things in terms of our global
yeah,
community,
absolutely.
and stop trying to create divisions, stop trying to like look
That
at
part.
it's, it's like
Nothing is separate.
yeah.
Nothing is separate. There
So
should be nothing separate.
no, you said it before. We are all energy. That's exactly what we are. And energy has no color. It has no idea. It has no nothing. It's who we are. We're the ones that created all the other distinctions. We did it. So,
Yeah, you're right
I
about that.
so I totally get it. But I was disappointed not to be able to see him. I really was looking forward to seeing him, but I didn't. I thought it was a lie, man. I'm like, but then when I saw his picture, posted a picture the day before, and of his death face, his like dyed out face,
Yeah,
and I'm like, whoa, hold up, something doesn't look right. He didn't look like he looked way diarrhea too early,
like
too
crazy.
too early. I'm like,
Yeah,
I thought, oh my gosh, are they diuresing him too this early? I'm like, what are they doing this for? This is gonna kill him. And then the next day, my phone's blowing up. I was like, hey, is this true? Is this true? And I'm like, oh man, I'm like, I couldn't believe it. So. But I don't think it was due to the diuresing. I think it was probably due to something else. I don't know, some congenital, some kind of genetic just predisposition for some kind of he was found. I guess he was found face down with blood coming out of his mouth or something. So he had some kind of
yeah,
some kind of.
that's something different.
So I don't know. So yeah, but just sucks. It's weird because lately it seems like the last couple of years we've had several guys, important people in the industry die, like young too, right? Like Dallas
Really
Carter, you just name it. These
young
guys,
dudes.
young dudes.
They're only 30s and mid 40s.
I mean, people want to blame drugs and stuff, but beyond all that stuff, it's like, come on,
Really
like
not about that.
no.
It's really not about that.
I just feel sad that it's like,
So many
wow,
things other than that
right?
that's going on in the world that could attack your body. Like
Well, I think a lot of people we live in a society where everybody wants a quick fix, right? We want to know the quick answer, this 3-second soundbite. What's the answer? The quick answer to everything. And sometimes there's not a quick answer. Sometimes it's a fucking dissertation, a 500-page dissertation of why this thing happened. Like this is, it's like, if you want to know the real reason why this happened, it's because of this. It's like, but we all want the simple explanations. We want to call it whatever we want to call it, so we can put a box around it and say this is why. Oh, it's because of drugs, or oh, it's because of this, or whatever. I think that the world is a little more gray than that. There's not so many black and whites. It's a little more gray than that.
it's a little bit greater than that.
Yeah.
Way greater than that. So yeah.
Did you do? I'm curious. Like you didn't do like any military service or like that, did you?
No.
Okay. I don't know why. For some reason, you strike me as a person that might have, but maybe not. I mean, I'm just.
And it was crazy. A lot of people ask me about
Oh, really?
service.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
just because of your demeanor. Maybe I don't know.
I don't. It's yes. It's my upbringing. You know what I
Okay.
mean. And it's what's kind of like my dad and my mom instilled in me, and just from the work ethic and just seeing them how they move and operate and
So what did your mom and dad do?
so my father owned a janitorial business for 25 plus years.
Oh, cool.
And then he jumped into he owned a trucking company.
Oh, wow.
So he went into doing local
Like logistics.
hauling like rocks and concrete and stuff like that. He had a business that business as well. My mom had a daycare center, and
Oh, wow. So they were all business owners. They were entrepreneurs.
yeah, both of them. So,
Now, I believe that changes a person. I believe that when you grow up with an entrepreneurial mindset, like you see this stuff going on, man, those are the people you have the highest chances of really creating something for yourself.
absolutely.
And
that's kind of like the path I'm on because I know the ins and outs. You know what I mean? I was working since I was 12 years old with my dad. So it's kind of like I know it all.
So this leads me to my next question, which is I took a look at your website and you have an app, like a fitness app. Tell me about this because this looks really cool. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I got a fitness app coming out. It's called, well, it should be released. We're waiting on Apple to release the reviews and kind of accept it to the Apple Store.
Okay.
It's already on Google, but we're just, again, Apple
takes a little longer.
Apple's being Apple.
It's okay. They're the big platform. You want them.
Absolutely. So the fitness app is called Next Level Gains with Erin Banks, and basically what this app is for beginners, intermediate people, and advanced people. There's 4 different programs on there. There's a shredding program. There's a bulking program. There's a HIIT program, and then there's also my Olympia prep.
So I was reading through it, and this is the shit that you actually do.
Yeah, so this is exactly what I did for the 20 weeks leading up to the Olympia. And so I put that program on there so people can actually just go in and
do it.
How did Erin do it?
Yeah.
So I want to do everything that Erin did. So, okay, let's do it. So here, it's in that app. It has some nutrition stuff on there. It has videos of every exercise that is on every single one of those programs. There's a like a log sheet to where you can keep up to date with your results.
Can people ask you questions on it?
Yeah, so there's an Ask Erin Banks tab to where it goes right to my Gmail and I can just bounce right back. And my thing is, what I'm going to do is, so people who are in this app, I'm going to take a question every week and post it on my Instagram and kind of like elaborate and kind of keep people engaged that way. And I think, to be honest, this was all filmed in 6K cinema.
Oh, nice.
There's never been an app with this type of quality. I've seen so many fitness apps. Yeah. So I got a good team behind me, and yeah, they've worked their butts off.
How long did it take you to develop that app? Now, I've had people come at me, want me to develop apps for a long time, and it always seems like, well, it used to be a lot really, really expensive, but I think it's gotten more affordable now, right?
No.
No, it's still, because I mean, I thought the shit that I was looking at a couple years ago was like, $50,000 to start, just to get this sucker rolling, right? Like,
and the thing is, there's a couple different ways you can do it. So I built my app from scratch, so it's my app. It's not a pre-built app to where you can buy pre-built apps and just integrate your stuff into it.
But it's like cookie cutter.
Yes, I don't want them cookie cutter. Right. So what I did was just build out my own app to make it user friendly, because there's apps out there, especially fitness apps, so where you gotta click on this, click on that, click on that. Okay.
You gotta take a class just to figure out how to use the app.
Absolutely not. I didn't want that Gmail. Those Gmail messages to keep piling up. Hey, how do you use this? How do you do this?
Oh, right.
We made it so user-friendly to where you click on the program. Okay, you got Monday. Boom, we got push. Okay, press play. It gives you every single workout video, how many sets, how many reps, and it's a smooth app. So
nice.
I'm excited for it to launch, which it should be launching either tomorrow or the next day,
whenever they approve it.
Again, we're just waiting on Apple's approval, and then we'll be good.
So Apple's got it on their store. We'll have it on their store, and then it's also on Google.
It's on Google right now. Okay. Yes.
Awesome.
The Android people.
I don't know, man. I still got I'm actually looking at that new app. I just got this damn phone last year, but I'm looking at that new Apple 13 phone.
Yeah, the Apple 13.
Dude, see the cameras on that thing? It looks.
The camera thing is.
Nowadays, with every
they're making these phones like, to be honest, they basically should just integrate a Sony A7 with the phone. Cameras are getting like ridiculous.
What I would like to see is like a very miniaturized version of like a camera that's as good as my phone, miniaturized here, that could connect to it, so I could so everything it films and goes records here, but I don't have to have my phone up doing this shit. I could just have it, pin it to my shirt, and it's like the size of a silver dollar or a quarter. Because then I could walk through a show and just film.
Smart.
You see what I see. Put it right here.
Yeah.
Right? You see what I see.
Well, it's kind of like a GoPro.
Kind of like GoPro, but you could see that. So if I was to wear a GoPro around, then I look like, I don't know. It feels goofy to me. Unless I'm surfing or
little boxy.
It's a little chunky. And when I look at the video, man, your phone shoots better video.
Yeah.
It's just
crazy. Like,
so I'm just thinking, I always wanted to do that, to say, okay, you guys want to ride with me for the day at the Olympia? All right, here's what we do. But I got to do this now when I'm there.
Yep. Pull the phone out. That's
right. I found it to be a wonderful advantage for myself over the years to be able to work from home and be able to see my children all the time. And I suppose, I'm sure this is a big plus for you as well, right?
Oh my gosh, yes.
My mother would tell me all the time. She'd say, "Dad, I just want to tell you, your daughter has such an advantage because you're home all day." And I never turned her away. I'll be working, I'll be talking to clients, I'll be on the phone, and she'll come up, "Daddy, Daddy," when she was little, and even now, and I never turn her away.
And see, that's the thing too. Like, so I'm here all day. I have posing clients, I have clients that are checking in and doing what they do. But at the same time, like, I pick my daughter up from school at 11, and we're together all day.
That's nice.
I pick up my son from my nephew's house, and we're literally together all day. So when mom is like, because my son would be like, "Daddy, Daddy," like all the time. Dad. Oh, mom. Because
go talk to your mom.
Tugging on her. But yeah, it's actually a blessing, man, to kind of work from home and kind of see my kids grow in front of my eyes. That is it. And like I said, man, I'm a huge baby for my kids, and when I can see them grow, when my sons start talking, my daughter starts doing what she does.
Which one's older? Your son's older?
My daughter's 4. Yeah, she's the oldest. And
so now that changed my life the most. Having my daughter, it changed my life the most. It made me
think different.
It made me look at women differently.
Yeah.
Made me see. It made me look at myself differently. How I relate to other people. How I relate to other ladies. In really wonderful ways. But more importantly, it really connected me with. So whenever my daughter, I don't know if this is you too, but whenever my daughter says "Daddy," oh my gosh, I just melt. I'm like, it's my favorite.
Even when they're in trouble,
right?
They always use that little
like "Daddy."
Face, Daddy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my, when my daughter looks disappointed or hurt, I'm like, oh my gosh, what's wrong?
Like, what happened?
Who do I need? Whose ass do I need to kick?
That part. And it's usually my son trying to hit her and do karate. So the thing is, I started off subject, but we started watching Power Rangers with these kids, and all of a sudden
he's like fucking
walked up and hit everybody. So of course, for Halloween, we're all Power Rangers. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if he's gonna walk around hitting kids. I don't know. We just don't go with the flow.
That's all right too, man. These are the good years. My daughter's, when she's gonna get a little older here pretty soon. I told her, I said, these boys are gonna start coming over, and I said, I'm letting you know. I told her this. I said, I'm letting you know now that I'm gonna have a discussion with each one that comes to pick you up. I said, before I allow you to go on a date, they have to talk to me first. Like me, man to man. Man to man, yes. We need to talk to me man to man. And I had those conversations planned out. I don't know if you have, but I have planned them out.
I get some words. I got some words locked and loaded. Absolutely.
I just want them to know, you think you love my daughter. I know I love my daughter. I've known it since the time that she was birthed into this world and until the time she leaves. So if she comes back to my house in any condition other than she left, I'm going to have words with you. That's right. You are responsible. But if everybody's cool, hey man, you and I will be best friends.
Absolutely.
I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
It will be. It's just.
But we were boys. We were boys once. I remember going to the houses of these girls. I know what the fuck I wanted. I know exactly what I wanted.
That's myself. So I know. So it's just what we have to go through as parents, and the thing is as we teach these kids, and give them morals and set boundaries and stuff like that, they'll be more on the, I would say, on the bright side of things rather than, again, not listening
Right.
to them and letting them do whatever they want to do, and that's where the issues, I believe, start to happen. So
I think you're right. Especially today, like I don't know about you, how you feel about this. We're maybe a generation or so apart, but when I grew up, there wasn't the same influences the kids have today. Today, they're bombarded with so much more shit. I thought I was.
Technology. It's just all
Oh yeah, I mean,
technology.
like we got these cell phones.
We were outside playing
Yeah.
basketball, doing the craziest stuff, the doorbell ditching.
Oh yeah.
That type of stuff, bro.
I did that too.
These kids don't do none of that. I wanted to grow up and wake up and hear somebody knock on my door so I can change something.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So it's not like that no more. The thing is it's kind of sad because then when you think about that, because these kids aren't outside, that the COVID had the child obesity has raised so high.
Yeah, well,
and
there's
that's something I'm actually going to be working with the mayor.
Oh, good.
And the councilman here in Fowler, we're just coming up with a game plan for our cities to kind of control the child obesity because, man, it's bad.
I think another thing that's worthy to mention in that conversation, when you have that conversation, is what I've seen. The young kids, especially the high school kids, junior high and high school kids, they're going through this last year and a half with COVID, right? Masking, staying at home, doing all the things that separate themselves, and they're at an age of development where they're developing social skills. And so, and you and I, we didn't wear masks when we went to school. We interacted. We went out. We did stuff, and they were too. Yeah. But now they're during these critical ages. They're not, and what I've noticed is they get fearful. I know so many young kids now. They're afraid to go out there and like shake someone's hand or go out there. They want to wear masks, and I get it. But fear, man, fear. You can't grow up like that. You can't.
But again, the government embedded that into these kids, and I'm glad my kids are at the age they are now because they don't really understand too much of the
good
politics about it. But like, I hope we do get away from this mask thing because it is.
Well,
I think it's ridiculous.
I do too. Well, especially in California, man. They're fucking taking the hard nosed approach to this. And I get it. I want people to live.
Have your vaccination card to sit down at a restaurant. What?
I know. I'm like, huh? You guys want to?
What are you talking about? Please, sir, please put it on your mask. I'm vaccinated. For what?
For what?
Sir, we still need to have your mask.
So I'm curious. I haven't been to California for a while. I was born in California. I was born in Southern California. What? So how is the people that you know, how are they taking these mandates? Just curious. Are they pro or against or half and half?
Some are pro, some are against it. Like me, I was just for the vaccination because I didn't want any hiccups.
Sure.
Going to the Olympia. I didn't I got COVID. I can't compete in my first Olympia.
Yeah, fuck that.
Absolutely not. That would have killed me.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, just go ahead and get it. And just
do your thing. Yep.
And so right after the New York Pro, I had got my vaccination. So that gave me time if I were to get sick.
Sure.
Okay. We still have time. So thing is, we did it right after New York, and then I mean, my whole family is pretty much vaccinated.
That's good.
Besides, everyone is.
Everyone has different opinions about it.
But it's just others. There's some rebels out here, and I mean a lot of them.
Oh,
they're not getting no vaccination. They're so against it out here. So
I think you should leave it up to the
people walking around with no mask and telling the people they are vaccinated when they're really not vaccinated.
Oh,
so
I don't think you should lie to people.
Be careful for.
I don't think people should lie to each other. But I certainly think that if you don't want to do it, don't do it. If you want to do it, do it. I think this is a personal choice that we
absolutely,
and we're making these personal choices like public discussion. Like that's like me talking about the sexual positions I like to get with my girlfriend. Like, no, I keep that shit private because it's private stuff. Like, right?
None of your business.
It's nobody's business, right? So I find it to be, well, I'm glad you are, and I'm glad that you feel good about it. That's all that I care is that people feel safe and they feel good.
My main thing was, I mean, again, I have a grandmother. I think about other people. If
Sure.
I'm not vaccinated and I feel some type of way, and I can't visit my grandma or I can't
Oh
visit my
yeah, that would
mom's
suck.
parents or my wife's parents or like you got to think about people. Like me, yeah, we go through the conspiracy of if it is it real, is it fake? Okay, if
Oh,
it's
it's
real or if
real.
it's not fake.
It's not fake.
At the
It's a
end of the
real
day,
virus.
I'm still gonna get the vaccination because I don't want to get sick nor get any of my family members sick.
Yeah,
So
I don't see a problem with either side. I just don't like people telling other people how to make choices. Like, no,
that
man. Like, I'm not here to tell you how to
we're
make.
grown people, we're grown
It's right.
adults.
It's right. And quite frankly, I'm the only one that's going to pay the consequences for my actions. You're not. So like, if I take your advice, what am I going to do? Come back to you and go, hey man, this happened, man. This sucks. You'll be
Yep,
like, hey man, you made that choice. Like,
absolutely. Yep.
so that's why I'm like, "Ugh, let people make their choices, and then we'll just live with the consequences.
Facts.
Let's see. So I saw on your Instagram, you got a couple sponsors, several sponsors. Tell me about those sponsors.
I have no sponsors right now besides my
I thought you
Stay
did.
Short, besides Chula Wear. And then I have
Okay.
a gym sponsor that the gym helps me out here. So like if you're looking at my Instagram, there is
Yeah, I thought I saw. Let me see. Maybe it was the Chula one I was thinking of. Let me see.
there is Chula and
Cut.
Iron Office Gym.
Okay, Iron was okay. Chula. What's
Yeah,
Chula?
so the gym here, they support me like 1,000%. And what's crazy, like the owner is actually he does all my content. So it's
Oh,
like
who is this?
this is Iron Office Gym,
Oh,
and
Iron.
his name is Will. If you click on the link, his name is Iron Will.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he does all the content,
Where is
takes
it?
all the pictures.
Where is this in Fresno? I used to work when my brother lived there.
So it's off of like Shields and Fowler.
Okay, okay. It looks like a good gym.
No, it's a legit gym.
Right.
So and what's crazy is same. So there was the world powerlifting competition, I believe, like 2 weeks before the Olympia,
Uh-huh.
and we have the strongest. I forget what he's. I think he has a world record in bench and world record in deadlift for. Let me see. What is? League of Lifting. So the IPF,
Oh,
World
okay. Yeah, I know that organization.
and bench, and yeah. So yeah, he went and did his thing out in I think it was like Sweden or wherever it was, and so it's some pretty nice names in that gym, man. And there's a couple I think pros that come down to the gym every once in a while. But yeah, they take care of me pretty well,
So
man.
now
And like I said, I got a really good support system here.
you guys are mainly in Fresno because of. I'm assuming it's because you grew up there, and also your wife is going to school in Fresno State.
Yeah. Well, she actually did everything online because of I guess
Okay,
COVID.
it's good, right?
Yeah. So she had moved over to do National University.
Gotcha.
Um, but I'm in Fresno because I'm a family dude. I'm not gonna leave my family. Like
I was watching this. It was kind of funny. You remind me because I was watching this. What was I watching? It was David Letterman has a show on Netflix that is like it's like my guest needs no introduction, and he has different famous people on, right? And he had Dave Chappelle on there last year, and I was watching Dave Chappelle, and I love Dave Chappelle. I think he's
that
fucking
dude's funny.
he's a genius when it comes to comedy, and he was explaining why he lives in this little tiny place in Ohio. So everyone knows that like Dave Chappelle lives in like this little tiny town in Ohio, and he lives there for the same exact reasons why you live where you live. He said, "I live here because everybody knows who I am. They know my. They're like, I grew up in this town. I remember
Right.
going to school here. I went to here. And I'm like, that is fucking cool." He's like, "I feel safe here. My kids are safe here." He's like, everybody, and I'm like, that's a good. And he believes in community, and
1,000. Absolutely.
and that's
You
the
gotta have the
thing.
right community. Like the city of Fowler, like they really have my back. And like I said, when it's a tight community, I mean, there's probably about 8,000 people in the city. It's not really big, but again, it's like right next to Fresno. It's
Gotcha.
kind of like Clovis and Fresno.
Yep.
So everybody knows me here. Like I can walk to the store and just be cool. Like the kids can play outside. I can leave my door unlocked, to be honest.
Okay, good.
Like there's no crime. There's nothing. So that's why I would never leave or go to like. Hey,
I wouldn't see why. Shit, I might move over there.
Why would I want to move out to LA to where the crime is?
Don't
crazy?
go to no.
I don't want to raise my kids in that type of atmosphere. So no, we live in Fowler and Fresno just because. I mean, it's homey for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's good. Well, tell everybody how they can reach you and all that good stuff, and we'll.
Absolutely. All my social networks, all my social media is E_Banks with 4 S's. E_BANKSSSS. I'm on Facebook. I have a YouTube. Just type in Erin Banks.
So it's E_Banks with 3 S's.
4 S's.
Oh, 4 S's. Why 4? Why is that?
I don't know. I tried to look up. I tried to put my name as E Banks. It was taken.
Okay.
I added another S. It was taken. But what's crazy, the 4th S looked cool. So I'm like, let's run with it.
I would have probably tried to do something like take it to the bank.
The thing is, like, my name is so catchy. I just had to keep it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Everyone calls me E Banks. I mean, they've been calling me E Banks since, 4th grade. You know what I mean? So. I just always ran with it because a lot of people don't like to call me Erin because it's spelled with an E.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. That's kind of usually a lady's name way to spell.
A lot of people, my parents, of course, spell my name ERIN. But I mean, of course, I never got bullied because I was always. so the thing was, it was like the name is cool. Okay, it's cool, but at the end of the day, my brother's name is Eric, ERIC.
Everyone's got an E.
My dad's name is Eric as well, and my sister's name is Erica, ERIKK.
So everybody has to have an E.
My parents wanted to kind of keep they didn't want to throw it off and be AARON. They just kept it with the E. So, I mean, I love my name, man, and I love the way it's spelled.
Well, that's good. Nothing wrong with your name, man. I like your name.
Right.
I was just curious. All right. Well, but by the way, what is your fitness app called? Does it have a name so people search it on the store?
My fitness app is Next Level Gains with Erin Banks, but on the Google Store and the Apple Store, it'd be Next Level Gains.
Okay.
And that link is also in my bio. So when you click that link in my bio right now, it's just sign up. We'll throw over the app is launched, all that information as soon as Apple.
Oh, so it'll roll over into the app as soon as it's launched. Okay. Yeah. So they can just go to your Instagram and fill out the form.
That link in that bio. Yep.
Awesome. All right. I'll put it in the notes section under these things as well.
Perfect.
Erin, man, it is awesome to talk to you, man. It's even better to get to know you and be able to meet you in person, man. It's so nice. Let me know when you're getting ready, man. Let me know. I'll lend you my eyeballs anytime you need it.
Oh, I got you for sure.
And tell Ariel I said hi, and tell him we'll have to have him when you guys start prepping next year for that first Arnold. We'll have to have you both on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He'll be down for that.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be fine. All right. All right, everybody. Well,
appreciate you for having me, man.
Hey, man, thank you so much, man. Congratulations again on your second place at the Olympia.
So
totally deserved it. And next year, big stuff.
Next year, big things. Yes,
big things.
Let's do it.
Start dreaming it. Start thinking it. Start manifesting it now. When you said whenever I'm going to be honest, every time I've heard somebody say, and I paid attention, I dreamed it before it happened. And they always had good results.
Always.
So like I truly believe.
It was crazy. I didn't even tell you this, but
oh shit! What?
So my wife has videos because as I'm asleep, right? So one morning she woke up. She was like,
"Hold on, she's recording you while you're sleeping."
Yeah,
tell her she's a little twisted, man.
Listen, because she was like, "You were giving a speech in your sleep."
I'm winning the Olympia, damn it!
Well, I was dreaming about the Olympia. So, I guess so. That's a separate video. Then the other video, she shows me I'm posing in my sleep. I'm literally laying on my back.
I love it!
my poses as I'm asleep. I said, "This is weird. This is so weird."
That means you want it, bro.
It's a really manifestation to the max. You know what I mean? And
I believe in this.
You live it. You you walk it. It happens. It happens. It really does happen. So
you have to. Your mind, what we imagine in our minds. I tell this to my athletes that your body doesn't know the difference between what you imagine and what happens in real life. So you have to get the body used to being the winner.
Absolutely.
You have to. So,
absolutely.
And it will perform. It will do exactly what it needs to do. So
100%.
Keep doing it, brother. I'll be rooting for you.
Thank you so much.
All right, man. Stay on the line here after we stop here. But thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. I'll have you on again before you start prepping.